thanks so much to everyone who is joining in from the audience. If you can probably tell, we have a little bit of a new spaceship that we're running this thing in. We're pretty excited. What we're doing is we're shifting over Townhalls to Riverside. We're just going to test this out. We want to see how this feels. There's quite a few just like benefits that we get from it. It's just like significantly higher quality video. It allows us to like snip and short things a little bit easier. And I think it's just going to help us like clean up some of our communication with you guys, making sure that you're always in the loop. You feel like you always understand what's going on Heartbeat side of things. So quite a few new updates. Mike's been working really hard on just getting everything like perfectly tuned in for this live stream. We're also live streaming this to YouTube as well. And so if you're joining us in from YouTube, what's up? Feel free to come in and jump on the main live stream as well too. And you guys are, of course, always welcome to continue asking questions, dropping in your questions into the chat, and we're going to be able to surface them. We've actually got some cool stuff where now we can pull these things up on the screen, like you can see in the bottom left corner. And so that way it just, again, makes it easier for us to like communicate and have some of these conversations back and forth as we're keeping you in the loop with all the new stuff coming forward. Anything I missed there, Mike, on just like all the new tech before we keep going?
Those are the new house rules. Just keep the chat lively, chat to each other, bring your questions in. Happy to answer anything that you guys want us to cover. That's what this is about.
Sweet. Yeah, and so what this is, and well, we can still all see the chat too, so put nice things in there. But yeah, we've got this town hall. What it is our goal here is to really cast a vision for where Heartbeat is headed, share what we've worked on over the last month for all the new updates, all the new changes that we pushed for you, as well as just talking about what we've got coming down the pipeline for all of the next month, next couple months of Heartbeat. So we tend to break this call up into 3 sections. So what we did, what's coming up, and then we leave that last like 15-20 minutes open for just any suggestions, any feedback that you guys have on where we need to keep our eyes on, what things we need to focus on. I say this all the time, but we have like entirely changed our product roadmap based off of feedback and comments that have come up during these town halls. These are really, really important to us. We built out entire features as a result of like the things that we brought up here. So please voice any concerns that you have, make your voice heard. We want to hear it, and we want to know all the cool things that you're hoping that we can build into Heartbeat. And the little cheat code over here is this is what makes our jobs a lot easier, because now we don't have to do the guesswork of what to build next. We can just work with you and build the stuff that you need to grow your business and grow your community. So this is for anybody that is a Heartbeat customer, anybody that is in the Hearth, or anybody that's even just like peeking their head behind the curtain and trying to understand a little bit more about Heartbeat before signing up themselves. Quick, before we dive in, I just want to say thank you from my end for being here. You've already done the hardest part. Only asks is if you can be here fully, we want to make sure that like we are also like able to communicate both ways. So like if you can be here fully and be present, that's amazing. And look, life happens, which sometimes it does. Like feel free to like hop off, be able to, turn off your video call and leave if you need to. We're going to record this whole thing and we'll send it out a little bit later. Cool, so let's go ahead and dive in. What we're going to start off with is we're going to start off with everything that we got done over the last month of Heartbeat. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and kick this off to Nick. Nick, if you want to go ahead and share your screen and pull that up, let's do it.
Sweet. Yeah, thank you. Mike, if you could switch off of the medium board on your end.
Yep, I faded that right out. We're all good.
You might have to remove it from stop sharing or something.
Sure thing. It is...
There we are.
Live.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, everybody. We did a whole lot last month, and I'm very excited to share it with you. I will show you the full list here so you don't have to stay on a cliffhanger, but I'll start at the first bullet right at the top there. One of them that we're most proud of over the past month is releasing Payments 2.0 for all communities. So it's out of beta. We've worked out the kinks thanks to a ton of feedback from our beta group. And now if you go to your settings under the product settings page, you will see a migration button where we'll walk you through a self-serve process to move over to Payments 2.0. We've talked a lot about what is included in Payments 2.0 over the past few months, but I wanted to give you a quick refresher just to get you a little more excited, and hopefully tonight when you're watching the newest episode of Severance or something, you will decide to migrate over to Payments 2.0 for your community. So I'm going to jump over to my community right here. And this test community that I have, it's a drumming community for people that want to learn drums, is on Payments 2.0. And the very first settings page you have here is where you can configure your payments settings. We didn't have this previously, so we compiled all of the highest requested Stripe settings and configurations that y'all have, and we put it into one settings page in Heartbeat so that you know where to go from the very moment from inside of Heartbeat. So that includes promo codes, creation and management, telling us what accepted payment methods you allow, and configuring your payment confirmation emails with your members. We also allow you to determine your Stripe tax and your terms of service here. But that's more of the admin, kind of boring stuff. The more fun stuff is on the offers side of things. So if you are not migrated yet, offers is our new term for products. So if you think about all the products you have in Payments 2.0, they will show up right here on your offers page. And the reason why we call them offers is because there's a ton of new capabilities with them. So I'm going to rush through these settings pages here, but it includes free tiers for those that have freemium memberships. We have a name your price model if you have a type of membership where you have a recommended price or a minimum price, but you want people to pay whatever they'd like. You can have that now as well. We have offer limitations that you can set up, whether you want to set quantity limits or time limits on your offer, which results in a banner creating a FOMO effect on sign-up pages and upsells saying, hey, there's only 5 spots remaining, or hey, you only have 5 days left before this offer is expiring. We have social proofing to show other people that are prospective members that other people have made the amazing decision to join your community, and fun things after purchase, just like post-purchase redirects and auto-removing access to offers after a certain period of time, which is a particularly helpful thing for those of you that run cohort-based communities and need to remove people from the community on an ongoing basis. And then one thing that we know is super exciting for a lot of y'all is cancel flows. So if you run a membership, this is particularly awesome for you because when somebody clicks that unsubscribe button, you can now instead offer them a discount or suggest that they switch tiers to a lower tier, or even suggest that they book a call with you to chat about what's not working. All of this is possible now in the base version of Payments 2.0, and we have them all structured with templated language that is using best practices and making sure that you're communicating this in an ethical way to your members when they look to cancel. And then for those members that ultimately do cancel, we allow you to collect cancellation feedback as well now, which is extremely valuable for you as you grow your community, whether it's from a pricing standpoint, value standpoint, or a targeting and segmentation standpoint. Maybe you have a specific segment of members that you decide to approach moving forward based on your cancellation survey feedback. That's a whole lot.
I'm going to put a question up on screen. We did answer it in the chat, but I'd love everybody to be able to see it.
Sure. Yeah.
You can see it right up here. To confirm, is the functionality of Payments 2.0 only available to you if you're using Stripe?
So that's right. Right now, Stripe is the only payment provider, processing provider that we have a direct integration with Heartbeat. So if you are using Heartbeat payments, you need to use Stripe at this time.
Awesome.
Yeah, great question though. All right, y'all, I'm gonna keep chugging along, and you can explore all of this if you migrate over to Payments 2.0. A couple other awesome things that we recently released with Payments 2.0 is a reformatted access groups settings page. We know it was kind of annoying for those that had a ton of access groups and just one long laundry list of all of them in the previous iteration of this. We've now organized that into a table that you can sort, search, and navigate through tabs based on the type of group that you're dealing with. So I can now all see all of my course groups in one tab, all of my paid groups in one tab, automated ones, badges, and hidden. And if I'm looking for a specific one, I could go ahead and just search it here, which I don't have a group called Starter then. Okay, but now there's like a ton of ways that you can find the groups that you need in a faster way. We're trying to save you a bit more time. We know that's always been our philosophy, is like bringing tools inside of Heartbeat, but we've also taken a particular look at how we display these tools to you to help you save even more time when you're navigating the platform. Next thing here is sign up pages. Sign up pages got a huge revamp. You may know these today as invitation links. We've renamed them to sign up pages because that's really what they are intended to do. They're intended for you to give members or prospects the opportunity to sign up to your community or sign up to an offer. And with that, we have some changes with how we handle sign up links. But very excitingly, we have an updated iteration of how you can customize your landing page for your community. So if I go to, I think this one here, I'll edit that. Oh, not that one. Let's try that one then. No. But if you toggle on the custom landing page option on your sign up page, you can now add title, subtitle, a description, and button text, social proofing all over the page, as well as a testimonial and a video. So there's a ton more content you could add to these, and it results in this gorgeous landing page that the members get to view, which I am live demoing and will try to get it up later. But I will show you.
Can I float some questions to you if I may?
For sure.
Because before we get too far off it.
Mm-hmm.
So folks have commented on the groups that they used to be able to. They were using visual hierarchy for cohorts.
Mm-hmm.
And just wanted to know. Oh, we had a lot of questions coming in. Sorry, guys. All of a sudden, everyone's like, "Yay, questions!" All right. Yeah, let's see here. So I like the visual hierarchy that used to exist in groups for course cohorts. Not,
yes.
Not just access group. Now my access groups are just a list. Is that how it should be? What are some best practices and thinking around that?
Yeah, so we haven't messed around with the cohort groups for your courses. So if you go to your table on the courses tab, you should still see all of your cohorts organized under your course groups. If that's not the case, let us know. But there are new rules to the way subgroups work in Heartbeat, and that's explained in the migration process, and we'll show you what your groups may look like before and after with the new rules. But yeah, we made sure to not mess with your cohorts to keep those under the proper headings.
Awesome. And then there was just a brief question here. Are we able to see a list of groups, a list of names by group? And they said, oh, last minute, no, never mind, I see how. So they've self-answered their own question, but just in case other people had the question and didn't see the answer, can we show that?
Yeah, for sure. So on a quick glance, if you just want to see who's in a group, you could actually click on the members number here. So I have 10 members in my intermediate drumming group. I'll click there, and I see who's in it right there. There is some advanced filtering options that we give to you, which is actually part of my next update. So if you could hang tight for like a couple minutes, I'll show you how you can do some advanced filtering on your members table. How we doing, Mike? Any other questions from your end?
We're doing good. Looks like Glenn says that he'll be reaching out just for questions on the hierarchy. His seems flat, wants to make sure he's got it set up right. So yeah, sure. Definitely reach out to the support team on that one. Yeah,
there's a help button in the bottom right of your community. You see it right here on the settings page and on your main community page right here. And we will be able to take a look for you.
And then Nick, I actually dropped in a link in the studio chat if you want to just grab that to show the new payments functionality or the new sign-up pages.
Bless your heart. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Let's see if we can. And I'll probably have to open this in an incognito tab. Ooh, Inception. Oops. Okay.
When you live stream your live stream. Yeah.
Yes. So, thank you so much, Mortiza. So this is what a community landing page, sign up page can look like now with all of the customization options enabled, right? We see our video at the very top. We see our community gradient with our branding at the front and center. Somebody can either log in if they're lost and they're already a member, or if they're new, they can look at your pricing or just go ahead and purchase. And so if we click our pricing here, we would scroll all the way down, but I'll just do a manual scroll so we can enjoy all the other stuff here. We have our description and our social proofing. Again, all of these images are customizable. You can upload your own. You can upload actually up to 12. So you'll have a list double the size of this. That's my dog, Julep. He's adorable. And then you have your testimonial here right before they see the pricing, in which case you'll have, if you have a multi-tier offer here, you'll see them all. If I click purchase, I'm now taken to the checkout experience where I'm seeing the testimonial from Mortiza. And that's just like the extra nudge because typically when you have somebody having to give up a little bit of information, they tend to hesitate. So we want to show them that this is a good decision that other people have made, and show them the value that others are feeling from your community. And from there, you're taken through a checkout process and onboard right into your community. I won't do all that here on the live call, but you can check it out for yourself if you go ahead and migrate to Payments 2.0 later. All right, y'all, I am going to chug along here. One of the other exciting updates we pushed over the last month is easier bulk action workflows. So some of you who are familiar with workflows in Heartbeat already know that you can run a bulk action workflow on a filtered set of your members. So an example of that would be, I want to DM all of my members in my starter tier of my membership. I want to send them the same exact DM in one action. You can do that from the workflow settings pages now by filtering and then writing your DM and then clicking send, or even scheduling it to send out. Now we actually support that through your Manage Members page. So if you migrate over to Payments 2.0, you will see that your Manage Members page looks a bit different. It's a big old table now, and we have it tabbed just like the other tables. But you'll see this filter and bulk actions option. So let's say I want to do exactly that. I want to filter my table here to only show people that are in my Groove Masters group. Let's see if I have anybody in that group. All right, I have one. Maybe we'll also include all of my moderators and my admins, just so that we see a bigger list here. Great. So now that I have this list here, I'll go ahead and check them all. I have 6 members selected. I could preview that just to double check, and then I'll go ahead and run a bulk action. So from here, we'll allow you to send a DM to all of them, an email, send them a notification, show them a pop-up. I could add them to a group in mass, or I could remove them from certain groups in a mass way. Let's go ahead and send them all a DM. And it's going to be from me, and I'll say, hey, member first name, hope you're enjoying the community so far. And I will schedule that to go out. Actually, I'll run it right now. So I'll turn off the schedule action. I'll just run bulk action. There we go. I'm logged in. I'm logged into my admin account, and I just got auto responses from the 2 founders. Thank you for your replies. But we just ran our first bulk action in our community. So have fun playing around with that. We just wanted to make it a little bit easier for you to run like large scale operations like bulk action workflows from your Manage Members table. So we'd love to have any feedback you have there. Any questions?
Yeah, there's a few I'd love to surface here. So
sure thing.
If I go, actually, there was a bunch that came in, so people are loving it. So let's see. So if I go all the way back in order, Jasmine had a question. Let me put this up on the screen. Is the testimonial, when you do the social proof testimonial, pulled from somewhere, or is it populated manually?
So the testimonial you get to populate manually in the offer settings. When you're setting up your offer, there will be an option to add a testimonial, and we will use that testimonial both on your custom landing page and in your checkout experience. So you get to define what the text says there, who it's from, and you could even upload your own image of the person that said the testimonial.
Awesome. All right, we carry on down here. We did have a question here about timeline for a hopeful PayPal integration.
Yes, I'm going to punch that over to Mayhole for a quick reply on just like giving us a little bit clarity around the roadmap there.
Yeah, I know that PayPal integration has been a common request from folks, and it's still something that we are looking into. The reality is that whenever we kind of move to an additional payment processor, there's a lot of additional like checks and things that we need to implement that would make it complicated to do PayPal. We are in talks with Stripe, who is potentially talking about kind of incorporating PayPal as one of the payment options underneath Stripe as a potential payment option. And so that might be a way that we're able to kind of incorporate being able to collect payments via PayPal without having to rebuild a bunch of infrastructure. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for the context, Mayhole. And also, thank you, Mayhole, for showing up today, even though you're sick. Mayhole's been sick for the past couple of weeks, and we, even though he has trouble speaking from the respiratory pain, he can still write code a million miles a minute. So don't have to worry about that.
As long as those hands work, right? That's the other thing. As long as the keyboard muscles are good. All right, let me pop up another question as we're going to go through here. Angela brought this one up. Is there any way to harness some of the Payments 2.0 featured in other areas, features in other areas, in particular limited access, cancellation, confirmation, workflows, etc.?
Sure. Yeah. So I think one of the best ways to utilize the offer settings is through, so there's the sign up pages, which is like the most obvious way, but there's also the upsells. So we made sure to incorporate all of these like new limitations, whether it's your time limited offer or spots limited offer or testimonials and social selling. We incorporated that all into upsells as well. So when somebody sees an upsell for a channel or a document or a course in your community, they will also see the limitations or settings you've added to that offer there to create more of like a FOMO effect for the limited offers. So that's probably like the most obvious. Second place I would leverage it is through upsells. Outside of that, I would love to like have a little bit more clarity around the question to see if I'm missing anything there.
Let's see. So Angela, if you wanted to share some additional context, I don't know if we were able to answer exactly what you need. I'll look closely for that. We have so many questions today. People just love Payments 2.0. I don't want to have you take over the whole town hall, but I do want to make sure we float these up as we can. Maybe we can kind of rapid fire through a couple of these just to catch up.
Sure.
Let's see. Okay, here we are. Show on stream. Tony asks, can we use this method to delete the pending and abandon? That was a few moments ago before the last question, though. So I think you were showing different context at that time.
Yeah. It could be for the bulk actions.
Yes.
Yes. The answer for that one is not yet. I was looking at ways to do that safely in order to make sure that, or make it more clear so you don't accidentally delete people you didn't want to. And so I thought, let's keep it doing it at the individual level and then sort of see what the feedback is. So if enough people are saying it's a big use case we need, I can go ahead and set that up. Also, hi, I'm John.
Yes, thank you so much, John, for actually speaking up there. So this bulk actions and filtering was John's first project on the Heartbeat team. John, if you could introduce yourself, give us a little picture of who you are.
Sure. Hi, I'm John. Just started here. I've been writing code for about 9 years, almost 8-9 years. Mostly at various startups, so I spent a decent amount of time in healthcare and health tech. Yeah, I'm based here in Brooklyn with a lot of the other people here, but not all. And yeah, so far it's been really wonderful to work with this incredible team and work with this sort of product that's really thriving and has such an active, it's a little, it feels silly to say an active community because it's all community is what it is, but that is what's going on, and that's really fun for me.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate you. And as y'all can see, he is very quickly onboarded onto the team. We got him right into that code base, pushing amazing projects already. So very excited to see what's to come. Are we good on questions for now? Could we maybe start adding some to the repository?
I think let's
we'll
move it
queue
to
him
the
up.
end. Yeah.
We'll queue him up to the end. We just have well wishes for Mayhall going in there as well, so I'll just voice that.
Very sweet.
Also, a lot of like welcome Johns and hi Johns as well too.
Yes, indeed.
Alrighty, just to run through the last things here, we have some quality of life improvements that we pushed over the past month. For one, we added a toggle for allowing matchmaking repeats. So if you go to your matchmaking settings, if you're currently running them, and configure your matchmaking, you now have an option to allow repeat matchups. So by default, we actually won't. So if I met with Mike once already, Heartbeat will not let me and Mike meet again through a matchup. But if you'd like that to happen, then you can now toggle that on in your matchmaking configuration. We have better support for multiple events in calendar view now. So if you run a ton of events in the day, you may see that it shows up a little bit nicer on the calendar view on your events page. Better messaging for deactivated users that are trying to log in so that they actually understand why they can't log in. And then lastly, the ability to manage event publish status from a course view. So if you were wanting to create draft events when you're creating events for your course, when you're creating your syllabus, that is now possible and a bit easier to manage from that end. So that's it with what we did last month for product. I think we're good to move over to growth.
Yes, indeedy. I saw the comment that I needed to amp my mic a little bit. I hope I'm not deafening people now, but I did add a little bit of volume to it. Yeah, so some amazing milestones have happened in the past month. Really excited to say that we had the best month of payment processing. That's volume of money paid by members to community admins. That is $750,000 in a month in the pockets of community builders. So super excited. Well, that is a $750,000. Like, good guys, like that is a milestone. And February is already going great. We're already up 10% over last month, and it's like 6 days into February. So that great job to the community builders, marketing your communities, growing them, providing amazing value to your members. That is you. So props to you guys for doing that. We've been piloting a live streaming Hearth events. So this is a use case of that. We tried a low tech version using Zoom. We have live streamed to YouTube in the past this month. We are now simultaneously live streaming this event to YouTube and LinkedIn. So we're going to continue with that. That's exciting. New territory for us to bring this content to more people. Still being here live in the chat is the best way to interact with us, though. So we appreciate those of you that are here. And product marketing. So we have been really hyping the education around Payments 2.0. Nick, it was a labor of love. Him designing it, Mayhol coding it. I have been putting tips and tricks in the newsletter videos that I put out. I demoed cancel flows, which is my favorite feature as a marketer. When you work hard to get somebody to be a member, using the ability to address them when they come to the point of thinking they may not want to be a member anymore with interventions that provide new value and moments to reconsider are a great way to keep them members. We also have a lot of content put out and being published to our YouTube channel. If you guys are not already subscribers, it is worth subscribing. There is a ton of value and how-to on Payments 2.0 there, as well as the help docs that we have published. When it comes to things that we've been doing really well in the last month, we've been having a lot of success around our advertising. We're putting ads on Google and then the Meta platforms, Facebook and Instagram. The main way we make these work is by using pixel tracking. And without going too far down a rabbit hole, we put a pixel in the places where we want it to say the ad did the thing we meant it to do. So somebody signed up for a Heartbeat trial, somebody purchased a Heartbeat subscription, and then it tells the ad platform back, that was a good job, find us more people like that person. I'm sharing this here because you guys can do this too. Anybody on the growth tier of Heartbeat has pixel tracking as a feature in your community. So if ever you decided you wanted to explore spinning up a paid acquisition channel using Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or Google ads, you can put the tracking pixels in your community so that when people purchase a membership or sign up for a trial or other other events that are triggered, it goes back to the ad platform and it can optimize for that outcome. So it's not just people that look at your landing page but never do anything or sign up for a trial and never buy. It's the right type of people. So it worked for us, and I'm just emphasizing that I think it could be really helpful for you guys too. And that was what we did in the last month in growth. So from here, we'll roll forward to the support team or support updates.
Yes, and I am the support updates today. There must be something in the air. Siobhan is sick today as well. Wash your hands, y'all. Let's look out for each other. So Siobhan wanted me to share that we've been testing a few things on the support side, one of them being proactive outreach to customers that are struggling, especially in their first couple weeks or month. We want to make sure that if we identify on our end that there are some early indicators that you're struggling to launch or get your community set up, we are going to reach out to you and either try to schedule a call or give you resources in a way that is timely and in the context that you need it. So we're testing that out, and stay tuned to see the results there. Other thing Siobhan wanted me to share is we, as a support team, have decreased time to close for support tickets by 50% using a new approach to how we are triaging tickets in the support queue. So that is going to continue to drop because we were able to bring on Mafalda, our new hire, full-time earlier this week on Monday. So we have a stronger support team And thank you, Nicole. The support team has been amazing. That is very kind. I'll make sure I share that with Siobhan as well. So those are the support updates in terms of what happened last month. And I will now pass it off to y'all for community.
I think I'll cover community updates just to give us a little bit of there. It's so funny when you have a startup and you feel like you're running on a lean team, but we're already small. I've just like had a moment where I was just processing that. So yeah, okay. So community updates, events. We had Vicky Cumberbatch sharing inclusive vibes, 5 easy ways to start now. This was inclusion and people belonging in a community is extremely important. Doc Williams was talking about community cash flow and strategies for monetizing your community. Doc Williams is always helpful, and those events are always extremely popular and just immediately actionable. Drew Donaldson did a session called Traffic Surge Lead Gen for Communities. This was a requested repeat. This was a sequel to the original session on AI lead magnets, where not using AI to just write another ebook, but using interactive AI experiences to deliver value that make people really want to continue to be in your orbit, be on your list, be eventually part of your community. And then we did have setting up your community with Clover, which was a general stand-up guideline for all the fundamental functions of the Heartbeat community. If we look down here, interest groups, as a reminder, if you haven't already joined these in the Hearth, Drew Donaldson is the facilitator. That's the word I was fishing for. He's the facilitator for marketing. He does sessions on Fridays, like office hours. They're about 90 minutes long. You can come for whatever piece of that is useful to you, get marketing questions answered. Patrick hosts a courses office hours every other Tuesday. So if you're using courses as part of the monetization in your community, that's one you don't want to miss. And of course, Misty Dorman does automation support once a month. That is native automations and super awesome custom external automations. If you ever go super beyond the scope of the norm, there is nothing out there for Misty to figure out. Awesome. I think overall that covers the majority of Docs Threads rules. I don't think we've had major updates to talk through there, other than the fact that we are now live streaming some of this town hall and then future events. So the links in the invites may be updated, but we will push updates to everybody's calendar if ever we change them. That is also, we were like sitting here right before this, like I pushed the updates so everybody had the link to this, and we were like, wow, the product really works really great. And it was like we had a moment of experiencing the benefit of our own tool. So super grateful for Mail for you making those redirect links work so well that we could push updates like that and change the destination of an event last minute and everybody shows up and has a good time. That is our community update. Let's look into the future though. Let's look at what's coming up next.
Mike's being super generous about that, by the way. I was like, we just updated an event the morning of, like maybe we're gonna lose some people. And then everyone else was like, no, we built the product to do exactly this. We are all good. So I will say the moment of forgetfulness was definitely me forgetting what a great product Mayhole and Nick and John and Mike have like helped put together and build.
Awesome.
All right. And by the way, guys, I appreciate that you guys are now like living in the chat, feeding us questions. I am seeing more questions here than we did in the last town hall. So I'm okay. I'm trying to copy them all out. We're going to loop back to it. I just don't want to miss on some of these updates. We want to get to the roadmap, and we're going to definitely hit all these questions later on.
Yes, and Andrea, I see your question, and we're actually about to address it. So I will keep that in mind.
Timely question.
All righty. So what's coming soon for product? We have 5 exciting things coming up that we'll be working on this month on the product side. The first is waitlists. So we promised this early when we were working through Payments 2.0 that we wanted to help you get more people in the door through sign up, through upsells, and to make them stick around longer through cancellation flows. The one blind spot that we acknowledged is getting people in the door before you're ready to launch, right? When you're still gauging interest for your membership, for your community, you don't want to have to build absolutely everything immediately. And you want to start to be able to get an audience that you can both get feedback from and communicate with as you're getting ready to launch. So that's what waitlists are for. We're going to be launching a feature that allows you to build your email waitlist for your community tied to an offer. It will collect payments from them upfront so that you're able to secure that your idea is not only valuable, but it is valuable at the price point that you've set it. And then all of this will integrate so seamlessly with Heartbeat so that when you reach your launch date, all of the members will receive the notification to onboard, join the community, and the inevitable launch party that you throw will be spectacular. So that's coming. When is it coming, Sade? It is in design phase right now. We're looking to get it into development over the next like 1 to 2 weeks. So ideally by next town hall, we're like talking about it as either it's launching or has launched. So we'll keep you posted on that. But everything we're talking about here, ideally we're working on over the next month. Okay, desktop redesign. So we've talked about this. We've teased it in a couple of town halls already. You've seen some preliminary mocks, designs for it. We want to revamp how the desktop version of Heartbeat looks and feels. And part of that is reorganizing the left sidebar. So some of you have given us feedback that the sidebar feels a little bit clunky and sometimes hard to navigate. So we have taken that feedback and we'll be incorporating that into the redesign. Along with that redesign, we will be also considering adding the feed from mobile app to desktop. So that's part of the considerations. We're still like really wrapping our heads around what this desktop redesign will entail, but that is part of our considerations there. Any questions so far about what's coming?
Oh, do we ever? Let's see. So in order, we have some of these are going to be better suited for the end, I think. But as far as what's coming up next, recording chat functions and voice rooms, I think these are all better looped in at the end. Let's
Gotcha.
save these for one big bucket and just do them all together.
Sounds great. So the last 3 things, equally as exciting, in my opinion, offer segmentation. So right now, when you create an offer, it's available for anybody to join in on. But what if you have an offer that you only want available to people that have maybe taken advantage of another offer? Let's say you have somebody on a membership tier, and then you have this digital product offering that you only want available to people on your membership tier. You can now do that with offer segmentation. Well, not now, sorry. You will be able to do that with offer segmentation once we release that in the coming month. Second to last, assignment submission approval. So we've received a lot of feedback from course facilitators and instructors that it would be really nice to be able to give feedback to your students and members going through courses as they're doing assignments. So we have been building a feature that will allow you as an instructor to get notifications when your members make submissions for assignments on a course. You'll be able to review it, give feedback, and then approve it or tell them to give it another try. And that was also something that will prevent them from moving forward in the course. So you can have these stopping points to evaluate their learning and make sure that they're still on the right track, and therefore increase the actual efficacy of the courses that you're creating for your members. And then last here is a community moderation feature, which has been super awesome in our testing phase. It's blocking and reporting. So we now allow you to, I keep on saying now as if I'm in the future. We will be adding the ability to for peer-to-peer blocking and reporting. So if one member A needs to report or block member B, that will be possible with this update. We have been testing it at a bunch. We've been testing reporting content and reporting user profiles as well, because those are 2 important distinctions. If I have a problem with somebody's post that they made versus somebody's entire profile, I'll be able to report either of those. So any other questions before I move on to what's coming on the growth side?
I think this one might have been relevant. Let's see, I'll just float this one real quick from Mark. Would it be possible to give permission for users to post videos as assignments using native video allowance to save them embedding or linking to another hosting site?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've been getting some feedback around that and tinkering with how do we handle video uploads on the platform from the member side. So that as like an overall philosophical question, we will be taking back to the team and thinking about more. But as of right now, yeah, we only support video upload from admins for the native video feature. For members, on the member side of things, they have that per file limit of 10 megabytes.
All right. I think that was the one relevant to the little pieces you were sharing right there.
Sure.
And I have
Thanks, Mike.
everybody else that's been putting the questions in. I want to reassure you, we've got them documented. We're going to come back to them.
Alrighty, Mike, over to you then.
All right. So in the future, the future is now, Nick, right? It feels like we're living in the future. So there are going to be three main things that growth is focusing on in the coming month. Life cycle marketing, and this is something that is definitely relevant to a community business too. It's basically helping customers succeed with timely content at the moment that they need to reach the next step. So we're going to be helping Heartbeat customers with community setup, feature usage, reaching growth milestones. These are going to be automations that are enable us to deliver the right kind of help at the right time, depending on where you are in your community setup and community build out journey. This is just worth thinking about as a side note for you guys with your own communities. Think about ways you can use Heartbeat automations to make sure your members are getting set up using all the features in your community and reaching whatever transformation milestones you want them to have by being a member. The other thing we're doing is preferred partners and registered agencies. This is kind of an evolution of, I mentioned this partner program we were doing. These are service vendors who support community builders. We have an initial cohort already established of vendors that we have talked to and set up kind of an initial relationship with. We're going to be launching this pilot group as a directory of members that are kind of Heartbeat preferred partners. And if you are ever looking for service to help scale or grow your business, these are people that we've talked to that have done work with the Heartbeat community before that we are comfortable putting our name next to. If the initial pilot goes well, meaning this relationship is fruitful for them and us, because it's got to work both ways, we will eventually open up applications and make this something that's more open. There'll be a graduated process. You can become a registered agency provider, do some tutorials, and then eventually move into the partner program. But more on that to come. Just wanted to let you know that that is going to be launching this coming month. And then the last piece, and I want to speak honestly about this because I know how excited I was when we started talking about this. We're looking at rolling out from a growth perspective, not a product perspective, a community discovery directory. So in full honesty, this is on the roadmap without a date, but what we're looking at doing is creating a searchable indexed listing of communities. So people looking for communities can find them based on the attribute of that community. So if you're looking for an early stage entrepreneur, solopreneur community with marketing support, you might find the gym, which is my community, on the directory. Or if you're looking for a community about podcasting, you might be able to search for podcasting and find communities related to that. And there will be an index so people can find these. It adds an element of discoverability, of organic discovery to communities. As we grow, we want to make sure that we're acquiring, new community builders, getting them the right tools in their hands, getting them the Heartbeat tool in their hands, but also helping the people that have been our customers for a while, and making sure that you're continuing to have the right things to find and engage new members of your own. So this is going to try to be done as a no-code solution. So that's why we don't have a deadline, a full roadmap on this. It's not like I can say, hey, John, hey, Mayhol, how long does that take? Because it's on me. And I'm going to try to do this using the website and the content that we have there. So more news on this to come. We will share updates as we go, but very excited to be bringing this to you in the coming month. And we're going to go to the support updates, and I'll ping that back over to Nick.
Yes, thank you. So more articles in the Help Center is the goal of the next month for our support team, especially from a Payments 2.0's perspective. We initially had a batch of help articles available on day one for Payments 2.0, but as we collect feedback and as the support queue is filled with questions around Payments 2.0, we're refining those articles and even creating new ones. We want to make Heartbeat as self-service as possible. So that goes for both our Help Center, but also I saw somebody mentioning how much they love the bot in the support chat. That is part of this process of creating it self-service. I'll say, I love the bot, and sometimes I'm like, bot, why'd you say that? So there's definitely some improvements that we're looking at to improve, to make it even better for you and make sure it's giving you accurate answers every time. But if you haven't tried it out yet, click that help button in the bottom right corner of your community. Ask the bot a question, see how she does. Hardy is very kind. The last thing the support team will be doing over the next month is continuing to improve resolution times and helping you all build faster. So in tandem with that self-service is for when you do reach out to support, we want to make sure we're getting to you as quickly as possible, despite how quickly Mike is making our company grow. We were continuously optimizing for making sure we have the proper resources on the support side tied to the growth that we're seeing on the company side.
You can say, I make the problem, you fix the problem. It's okay.
We have a love-hate relationship, mostly love though. Alrighty, with that, I will pass it off back to you, Mike, with community.
Sure. All right. Double checking the chat that I didn't miss anything. We're doing good so far. Okay, so community updates. We have a couple of events here. We have Nivi bringing us the Get Volunteer Leaders in Your Community tutorial. This is handy. As your community grows, you want to activate members to be leaders for different segments or spaces of the community culture that you're building. Getting free work out of people can seem like it's complicated, but actually it gives them a sense of ownership. And we're going to learn a whole lot about what that is. That's coming up on February 12th. All of these you can RSVP to get the event link inside the Hearth. There is also a session from Lisa Princik with how to future-proof your membership with perfect pricing. Pricing questions are sometimes the most complicated questions that we face when we're making an offer and bringing it to market. There's a lot of buyer psychology into it, but there is a lot of science from best practices that show you what you can do. And Lisa's going to bring that to us on February 19th. And then the next event there is 3 retention accelerators to squash membership churn by Shana-Lynn Brensnahan, excuse me for that. The churn reduction. So churn, the word is members leaving, right? Anytime a customer leaves a product or decides to stop renewing a subscription, things we don't want. We work so hard to get members. We want to reduce churn, increase retention so that the members we work so hard to bring in stay happy, stay customers, and stay funding our businesses, our community businesses. So awesome. 3 accelerator strategies being shared on February 26th. That is a session you definitely don't want to miss. It's hard enough to grow a community, let alone watch them leave. So definitely hit these up. If you're in the Hearth, go to the events tab, RSVP to them all. Definitely worth attending. And then this is the full list of we have like so many events coming up. My goodness, guys, I couldn't even minutes of summary on that. But yeah, things that we want to see next. I did put the questions in here. I hope we can now circle back to a few of them and then open the floor to additional requests.
Amazing. Mike, I don't know if you remember right off the top of your head, which ones do we need to start with? We haven't touched on that Thrivecart one, right?
We did not. Yeah, I've tried to cross them out as we hit them organically, but I'll double check as you're reading through them now.
All right, awesome. So first question, and we've got it pulled up on the screen, so I think that makes it easier, is I use Thrivecart for all the payments via PayPal, but I'm unable to utilize Stripe in my country. I'm wondering if I can use Payments 2.0 features, but link all the payment requirements to Thrivecart. Yeah, great question. Unfortunately, we don't have like a deep level integration with Thrivecart the same way that we do with Stripe. And part of the like technical specifics of this is that when you're moving money around, you just have to be extra careful. There's so many more I's you have to dot, T's you have to cross to make sure that those features actually make it across the finish line. I say this in a lot of calls, but like, you know, if a comment doesn't appear on a page perfectly, like it's not the end of the world. If a payment doesn't appear in your bank account perfectly, now we've got a problem. And so that's why we have to spend extra time on a lot of the payments features that we roll out. So at this time, we don't have an integration with Thrivecart planned. It's something that we're open to exploring down the line, but at the moment, the answer is we don't have that. We do have a lot of different workarounds that you can use with Zapier to rebuild and create some of these same flows. And what I would recommend is jump in on one of the automation help sessions that Misty runs inside the Hearth. There's also like a full automation help channel that you can go in. And this is definitely a common topic of discussion of, hey, how do I use different payment processors when Stripe is not available in my country? And there's a ton of workarounds for all the different types of products that you want to sell that people have figured out in there. Next question is there a way to get a 6-month subscription option? Stripe has the capability, but it's not a drop-down when setting up a offer in Payments 2.0. So we do have the ability to, and I want to just double check on this. We have the ability to create subscriptions that are like time boxed to 6 months. You're paying up to a 6-month time span. So that part is doable. We just don't have the ability to charge every 6 months just yet. We are like looking into like adding more functionality. I think the balance over here is we want to strike it without giving like creating options for every like, you know, time interval versus like giving you enough that it does feel flexible. So Nick, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this in terms of like how we want to think about this from a product set standpoint, but I would say like the main expectation is we want to see what the demand looks like before moving it into the product, right?
Yep.
Cool. So next question was, can we keep the matchmaking repeats part of each member's preferences, especially if they can do it on a match level, so that members themselves, if I'm understanding correctly, members themselves can choose whether they're going to allow repeat matches or not. Mayhol, I don't know if you want to answer this, but I have a hunch that I know the answer.
Yeah, right now we don't necessarily have plans to enable that. I think the honest answer here is that I don't know that this is something. The main use case that we've encountered with this is for people with a smaller community where they kind of expend through all of the matchups within their community, but they want to still keep on running the matchmaking program. Enabling repeats is a way for them to just have that keep going after kind of running through that initial batch. I would recommend that kind of asking this from your members is probably kind of putting too much of the burden on their end, and it's usually better that we found for the admins to kind of be making the judgment call on what makes more sense depending on how your community is set up.
I would 100% agree with that. That definitely makes sense. Cool. Going into the next bullet. So, hey guys, first of all, I love how you developed the product through these 2 years. Is there any plan on translating the platform into other languages or enabling us to translate it? Great question. This is a question that we get a lot, and it's definitely something that we're like not ignoring. What I will say is that this is one of these things that like looks really simple on the surface and then gets really difficult when you go about it from the implementation standpoint. We've looked at a couple different providers that do things like automatic language translation on text and things like that. There's a couple hurdles there. One is that like all of the nuances of one language never perfectly translate to another, especially when we're making up our own like heartbeat conventions, right? We have things like offers and access groups and all of these like specific heartbeat words that actually hold a lot of meaning to them, and translating that to other languages and making the platform still feel cohesive and understandable is actually a pretty difficult thing to do. So this is something that we want to approach, but the honest answer here is I think we'll need to like scale up our team a little bit more to be able to take on this, just given what an operational load it's going to create. Because the second thing is now we'll have to reskin all of the text that we have on the platform today, but every new feature we develop means that we have to take a look at the language, exactly how we're doing that, how those translations turn out, to make sure that we're not creating more operational debt for ourselves in the future. So like I said, very high priority because some of our top earning communities on Heartbeat are like completely non-English speaking communities, but at the moment we just don't have the team size to do it. Next bullet on the list was please create and host a Pixel workshop. Mike, buddy, it's all you.
I see. I'm hearing this. I think I gave some input to the team for some help doc updates, but I guess we might have to put this on. Oh boy, there we go. My name's been applied. Oh no. All right, I guess we're gonna have to figure this out. We'll have to put that on the agenda sometime. I love it.
Amazing. Next question was, will there be a way of initially showing the offer expiry date and then switch to the quantity remaining when there's only, like, for example, 10 spots left? So keying in on what is, like, the most likely trigger to get someone to purchase. That's a really good question. Nick, I don't know if you've thought about this much or where your head's at here.
So we do allow you to switch things like that while an offer is live. So should be able to make that change at your own discretion. The only thing I guess that's not incorporated here is like Heartbeat helping you make that decision. So that's like really good feedback for maybe a workshop or a tutorial that we can host around how do you format limited time offers. But yeah, so like if you want to do it on your end, you certainly can with the tools you have in Heartbeat Payments 2.0.
Next question came in was, can we run bulk actions from make.com upon a trigger? Ooh, good question. So we don't have an official make.com integration. I know there is an integration that's out there, and that was actually built by another customer. I've heard decent things about it, but candidly, like none of us on the team have used it ourselves. So I think that would be, I would send that question to the developer for like the make.com Heartbeat integration. I know it's a little weird, but yeah, we had a customer build it out. We just didn't have room on our roadmap to focus on that at the time. And then we had questions around a couple different upgrades. And I know I'm reading these out. These are things that we have both of these we've discussed internally. So number one was our community is desperately calling for recording and chat function in the voice rooms. Any time frame on when this is coming out so that I may communicate this? Really good question. The honest answer is we have like definitely talked about this to the point where like John jerry-rigged part of the like voice room when he was just like playing around with it to see if he could get this stuff to like look better and operate better in line with what you're asking. So it's an annoyance that even we feel like quite a bit. The short answer to you is the voice and video tech that runs this is really complex and actually pretty hard to make these like, you know, infrastructure level changes so that all these displays look the way that you need them to. So it is something that we want to dig into. I think realistically we need to give like John and Mayhole a couple months to just like work through a couple of the existing projects in the pipeline before we can give an accurate timeline on this. I would say personally my hope is that this is something that we can tackle this year, like late summer, early fall, but I can't give you a guaranteed date because we need to see kind of what our engineering capacity looks like as we get through some of these initial projects. The second one is, may I please also know if there's going to be an option to click on a chat group and reply to it like you do in WhatsApp. Definitely something that we want to build out. Again, still like a work in progress. There's like a weird technical thing that makes it a little bit difficult, but definitely something that we're looking at building out. We just don't have an exact timeline to give you. So unfortunately, I don't have anything that I can give you to communicate directly to your audience, except for we as a team, we know it, we see it, and it's definitely something that we're planning to fix in the long term. And then the next bullet point was, with the migration payments 2.0, my main URL now goes to a landing page. It used to go to login. Is it possible to have that simply go to the login? Yes, very good question. To do this, open up the like sign up pages page in the settings, click the three dots all the way to the right, and you can edit and customize this landing page. And all you need to do is scroll to the bottom, and there's like a custom landing page toggle. Oh, Nick's pulling it up because he's amazing. Yeah, so you'll hit the edit button. So just turn off that toggle to like add a custom landing page, and it'll take you to the normal login page. So this is going to be the easy way to do that. Cool. And then Nick, do you mind going back to the Notion page? Sweet. Yeah, so this is going to be the easy way to just have it go to the straight like login screen that you're used to. Okay, great. I think we've answered all the questions there so far. I saw Adrian's comment come in, which was, if I may suggest a workaround that we did with my partners in Photo Booth software area, we created a CSV database of every UI text there is, then enabled people to translate it on their own. Within around a year, we had 600 languages translated and supported by the community. Honestly, Adrian, like that's kind of the route that we're leaning towards doing more, rather than using like a just auto-translate software and kind of praying that it works perfectly. But even that would require some pretty significant operational load. There's a lot of text all across Heartbeat, and the thing is it's constantly changing and getting updated, so like building out the structure for that is going to require a little bit of a larger team. Cool. I think we have hit all of the questions that were added in there. Mike, am I missing anything?
Yeah. No, that we are caught up in the chat.
Okay, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for showing up live. Now, one thing that I did want to do is I just wanted to understand how was this experience for you guys? Because this was a totally, like, completely new test using Riverside instead of Zoom. Can you guys drop in the Zoom chat, like, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being amazing and this is the best event you've ever attended, and 1 being this was so terrible, I am never coming to a Heartbeat Town Hall again. Can you give me, like, a 1 to 5 of, like, how this experience felt? Because on our end, like, obviously, like, we have some opinions, but we'd love to hear from you guys because we want to make sure that these events are as valuable to you as they are to us. So feel free to just take a second and drop like a little number in the Zoom chat. Okay, right, 4, 3, 4, 3. Okay, cool. So it looks like generally helpful, a little bit of room to improve, which is kind of what I was thinking as well. Very, very helpful. Thank you guys so much for dropping that in there. You guys are incredible, and I just want to say thank you again to everyone who showed up, who was present, who dropped in comments over here, who dropped in some nice words as Mayhole is, working through his cold. Thank you guys so much for showing up live. These events really, really mean a lot, and it's how we drive and define the roadmap of what we actually build next with Heartbeat. This is one of the biggest things that aligns us as a team on what we need to be working on moving forward. So thank you again to everyone who showed up live, who took the time to be here, to drop in questions, to drop in comments. We appreciate you guys. We will see y'all at the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your Thursday, you guys. Bye, everyone.
We are offline.
Whew.
Okay.